Chapter 5, Fireside Agreements. There is a fire older than any mountain, older than the first stone laid in the temple of union. It has burned in desert nights and on icy plains, in caves and in courts, in the hidden valleys where wanderers gather to share the burdens of their souls. This is the fire before which all true vows are spoken. It does not belong to any people or any place. It belongs to the witness who hears all and forgets nothing. We emerge from the shadow of the sacred echo into a clearing ringed with cedar and black basalt. The air smells of resin and smoke. Above, the stars lean low, as if eager to overhear what would be said. At the center burns the fire, not fierce like a battle blaze, nor timid like a dying ember, but steady and patient, as though it knows it may burn here for many hours before the last word is spoken. Figures are gathered around it. Some sit close, their faces open to the warmth. Others keep to the shadows, half hidden, their eyes fixed on the flames. These are the ones who have come to make agreements, some for life, some for a single season, some for reasons known only to themselves. The witness. Across the fire sits the witness, cloaked in dark cloth that drinks the light. No face can be seen, only the faint glimmer where eyes might be. The witness speaks rarely, but when they do, their words settle into you like embers, slow to fade, impossible to forget. They are the keeper of every vow spoken here. When you speak before the fire, the witness does not record it on parchment or stone. They inscribe it in the memory of the flame itself and the fire. The fire remembers in ways you would not expect. The story of the hunter and the healer. From the hidden archives of the Great V, I tell you this tale. There was once a hunter who roamed the deep forests and a healer who tended a small village by the river. One winter, the hunter came to the healer's home, wounded by a boar's tusk. The healer took him in, dressed his wounds, and nursed him back to strength. They came together by the fire to speak of what might come between them. The hunter promised to shield the healer from all harm. The healer promised to be patient with the hunter's long absences. The witness listened, the fire flared, and they left with their vows warm in their hearts. For many years, they returned to the fire, renewing their promises. But in a season of famine, the hunter found himself traveling farther and farther, chasing game, while the healer waited alone. He told himself he was still keeping his vow. After all, he was providing, but he had left her unguarded, not from enemies, but from loneliness. When he finally returned, the healer's warmth for him had cooled. The fire burned low as they sat before it, their words hesitant. The witness said nothing, but the hunter felt the truth. The fire remembered the night his absence had broken his promise. The story of the brothers at odds. Not all vows here are of love. Once two brothers came to the fire after years of bitterness. Their quarrel was over land, but the wound was deeper. A rivalry born in childhood and fed by pride. They sat far apart, speaking to the flames instead of each other. They agreed to divide their father's fields fairly, each taking what they could work. They promised to speak without insult and to meet each season to share news of the family. The witness nodded, the fire flared, and for a time, they kept their word. But the younger began to test the boundaries, sending his flocks to graze on the elder's side. The elder answered not with complaint, but with silence, and in that silence, contempt grew. When they came back to the fire, the witness listened again. And this time, the flame barely stirred. Agreements kept half-heartedly are as dangerous as those broken outright. The fire remembers both. The nature of the fire. The fire does not judge, it does not punish, but it remembers, and memory itself is a form of power. A kept vow will warm you when you need it most, calling strength from the very air. A broken vow will find you again in the cold, not to accuse, but to remind you of what you left behind. This is why some fear to speak before the fire at all. But to live without agreement is to live without anchor. Words unbound drift into nothing, carrying no weight, offering no shelter for those who walk alone. Even alone, you make agreements. You set boundaries for yourself, choose the roads you will walk, the company you will keep, the truths you will guard. To name these aloud, even to a candle in the stillness of your room, is to call the witness to hear you. Speak promises to yourself, to honor your body's need for rest and movement, to feed your mind with what strengthens, not poisons, to guard your heart from those who would use it without care. For those who walk together, couples and partners, the fire is for you as well. Create a living agreement, a scroll, a page, a spoken litany that holds your shared boundaries, your vision, your vows. Read it aloud together at least once each season. If one is broken, do not hide it. Bring it back to the fire and let the witness help you reforge it. A vow remade in truth is stronger than a vow kept in fear. The guardian's test. The witness will call you forward. You will kneel or stand, it matters not. But you must look into the flames. The fire will show you moments from your past. Promises kept, promises broken, times you stood silent when words were needed, times you spoke when silence would have healed. Then you will speak 3 promises. 1 to yourself, 1 to the person beside you, if any. 1 to the bond you share, even if it is yet unformed. If the fire brightens, your words are true. If it dims, the witness will not stop you, but you will carry the weight of knowing. Practical reflections for today. For singles, write 3 agreements with yourself today. 1 for your body, 1 for your mind, 1 for your spirit. Keep them visible. Speak them aloud weekly. For couples, draft a shared agreement touching each pillar from chapter 3. Trust, communication, respect, intimacy. Keep it alive. Update it as you grow. For all, when you break an agreement, bring it back to the fire, whether literal or symbolic, and reforge it with intention. The fire burns lower now. The witness rises, folds their cloak, and steps back into the shadows. The clearing feels both lighter and heavier. Lighter for the truth spoken, heavier for the weight of keeping it. We turn toward the sound of waves, the scent of salt thickening in the air. Ahead lies the sea, and on it, storms that test not only the strength of our vows, but the steadiness of our hands on the ropes. The storm and the anchor await.